What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Booker, in the building, man. Yo, check it out, man. Hey, we back, man. Friday night, man. I know we usually come on Thursday nights, all right? So we picked Friday night, man, because we had to catch up with a guest, man. And we're going to bring them on stage here in just a short period here, man. But I just want to thank everybody for continuing to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Continue to follow us. Continue to like, subscribe. We appreciate it. We couldn't do it without you, man. But tonight, man, we decided to come on Friday night, man. We got a guest, man. We told you guys we were golfing and we were getting into the golf world, man. Oh, man, how did I forget? Man, I got my man. I got my man, Coach Clark.
I just feel like you didn't. I feel like
Nah, man. Yo, dog.
my feelings kind of. You know, this is men's mental health weather.
Oh, my bad, man, because my mental was off just a little bit, and we got to look out for each other. You know, when we're a little off balance, we got to look out as brothers.
You're forgiven.
So look, man, I see you got your golf attire on. It's your boy Philando Clark in the building, man. Yep. So I told you guys we was jumping into this golf world, man. It's kind of like Clark. He's a golfer, man. Clark. These guys, my boys, they all golfers. Everybody but me.
We try to get you out there, bro.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is show up, man. Listen,
Yeah.
man. The first step for anything is taking the first step.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is show
But
up.
but you know what? I think I think I got it, bro.
You got it on Tiger Woods PGA.
That's too loud, huh?
So you do well on the video game. So I think you could translate that too. Yeah. As you can see, we live. We got the producer in the back.
Yeah.
Telling us how to.
All right, man. So we're gonna bring my man. We're gonna bring my man. Anthony Franklin on, man. Mr. Franklin
Franklin.
in the building, man.
Gentlemen, mic check. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
What's up, my guy?
What's happening?
Hey, this is cool. Hey, this is smooth, brother.
I see, man.
You see how chill he is, man? Just laid back. You know what I'm saying? Just in the cut, chilling. You see, he got the PhD on in his
Yeah,
Man,
man.
listen, man. This guy looks like money. It must be money.
It
Man.
must be the money, man. If you walk like a duck, quack like a duck, talk like a duck.
Hey, that's
Hey,
I'm
man.
not mad at the brother though, man.
Nah, man, he's a gracious guy too, man.
Let's give him his proper introduction.
Oh, absolutely, man. Listen, man, this is my guy Anthony Franklin, man. I met him. I had the pleasure of meeting him at the Clappers event a few weeks ago, man, and he was very gracious, man, and you know, willing to do the interview, man, and tell us about his product, which is a fantastic product, by the way, man. It's uh, digital golf, man. As you can see, Tiger Woods and I think Rory started the league. So we're about to kick off the next one in Charlotte. I'm gonna talk to you about that a little bit more, but we gonna bring it back. We gonna bring it to the QC, man. But this guy, man, Anthony Franklin, man, he's a seasoned. Cheers, cheers.
Can you hear me okay?
All right, here we go. Here we go. So let me
All
say
right.
again, like I said, man, this guy Anthony Franklin, man, decades of experience in leadership, data analysis, software development. He's a co-founder of Franalytics, a platform that brings fan intelligence and insight to the forefront of sports and entertainment. With a PhD in analytics and statistics from North Carolina State, Anthony's delivered an I'm sorry, excuse me, man, impactful, innovative, just crazy. This guy is the guy, man. I don't know what much to say to him, man. But I want him to explain what about the We Go Golf, man, because that really caught my eye. And and again, I apologize for kind of mixing over my words. I've been playing golf all day. So
Now you're good. The real question is, how did you
tell us
shoot when
about
you
We
played?
Go Golf, man, and how that became a thing, brother.
That's it.
Can you hear
Hey,
me?
man. Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I hear you now. All right. Sorry, repeat your question, Coach.
So tell us about We Go Golf, man, and how that came into fruition. What was the dream? What was the vision? And what it took to make that happen.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I grew up playing basketball, football, played football in college, played football at Coastal Carolina, and golf was never really on the forefront for me for a long time, man. And then as I really got into the business world, and my son got me into golf, I was really wanting to teach my son how to run a business. So we were thinking about a golf business, and my kid was going to the Boys and Girls Club at the time. So I was talking to the Boys and Girls Club director, and the gentleman had mentioned, man, we don't have any golf programs, so man, we got to change that. So we did a couple of events with them, and then we had some individuals say, man, we'll pay you for that. You bring it to our house, and business started, right? Um, and so, look, the main mission is pretty clear. It's simple. We got to put more golf clubs in the hands of kids that typically haven't had that opportunity or haven't had the access. The broader goal as well is, golf is kind of that first stepping stone, and then we're trying to bring it also financial literacy that comes with it. Golf is a very business minded type of sport, and so we need to really prepare our generation. We got to do something different, man. And then we want to take a little bit of different approach, and it's been received really well, both from our community and from the corporate standpoint of we've been growing pretty well.
That's awesome, man. Now we know that when Tiger came along, man, the brothers came along. So Tiger's kind of retired. He's kind of going off into the sunset. So what's the next step? What do we got to do to get the younger minority kids interested in golf? Because Tiger was a phenom. He was just a whirlwind and just brought everybody to the game. So now that that's gone, what's our next big move to get the kids in minority groups in particular involved in golf?
Access, simple, man. I mean, look, the game has been what it had always been, and intentionally been a pretty high barrier of entry. You got to dress a certain way. You got to have a certain amount of income even to go practice, to be in part of these country clubs. I mean, so that barrier has always been here. So our ability to bring that barrier down in terms of being able to enter and to experience the game, that's the key. And so, one of the things that we do, we call them pop-ups. We go to impoverished neighborhoods and we'll set up. We'll bring pizza, we'll bring food, and we'll teach kids how to play. And so the access is always really what's been the challenge. And if you don't have access to something, I mean, it's really difficult to integrate that into your culture and especially to appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and again, man, it's a great business sport. I mean, that's how you and I met at a golf event. It definitely opens up. It broadens your perspective and it kind of increases your circle, man. So, you said you're gonna bring that to the actual Boys and Girls Club. Who are some of the people you guys work with and kind of implemented your program with? You have any guys local in the state?
Yeah, for sure. So our headquarters is actually out of Raleigh. So we have multiple local golf courses and corresponding programs in Raleigh that we work with. I'd probably say our second headquarters, if you want to call it that, our second biggest market really is Charlotte. And so we just did the Clappers Cup in Charlotte as well. We did one in Raleigh, and the one in Clappers Cup in Charlotte was really special. And we had OG Lot come through and really show love. I mean, really to headline that event. But more importantly, right, I spent a good solid 2 weeks just spending time with OG Lot just to make sure, like, he was on board with what our vision and our mission was. Like, it was cool, obviously the vibes and everything, but at the end of the day, right, we took a portion of those proceeds and we gave them to the local First Tee group that was there. Man, that's really what it's about, right? So everybody loves chill vibes and some of the other activities we were able to provide there beyond golf, but at the end of the day, Lot was on board with it and everybody else that pitched in. So we had a lot of guests that were there and they loved the mission. I mean, shout out to Will Lowry, he was there. Roger Steele was there. Many other heavy influencers in the space that really bought into the mission. I mean, it was more than a cool vibe event. It was really a way for us to say when we come together, like Coach Clark, like what you said, man, the networking and what golf does and how that brings you to it. The way we networked in there and we kind of all vibed on the same mission. That's what it's about, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. I have one more question, and I'm gonna let my guy Booker. I'm sure he has some things as well. But being that this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, right? Um, I know golf is a great outlet for me, man. What are are some of the things that you do to make sure that your mental health is intact? Because you're expanding yourself in the community, you're spreading yourself pretty thin, I'm sure. Trying to touch all bases. So, what are some of the things that I'm gonna call you doctor because it's PhD behind that. Dr. Anthony Franklin does to make sure his mental health is intact, so he can show up for his family and his business partners and such.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
hear you.
All right. Man, this is a really good question. I think there's a couple things. Um, my main thing, there's two main things that I'm focused on right now. One is being ruthless with my time. I had a business advisor teach me that, and what that does to your mental psyche is so important. And then two is focus. Um, you know, we've got more distraction in this world than we've ever had in the history of mankind.
Absolutely.
And those both just significantly impact your health, man, both physically and mentally. And I have a family, I've got 3 kids, and being very intentional with my time and making sure that I'm having dedicated focus with my kids is what makes me happier, right? So I clearly love running my business and I love my family. And when you allow distractions to minimize either one of those, it brings a lot of stress and anxiety. And that's kind of my recommendation to anyone. Now, certainly there's an element of faith that goes into that as well. But if on a more kind of practical and tangible way, I encourage everybody, man, be ruthless with your time, right?
I agree with that, man. I 100% agree with that. You have to be intentional and ruthless with your time because that's the one thing we can't get back. But I was actually looking more of what are the same things you do to relax because you are so ruthless with your time and you are intentional with your time with your children and focus on your business. What's your chill time? What's that? What's your me time? Your me time activity?
Golf.
Hey, baby, that could be a stressor though.
No,
Like
but it's therapeutic, right? It's very
yeah,
therapeutic.
look, perspective is key on golf, boys. Like if you out there trying to win for money, that's stressful. Like, man, come, we'll go play together. We'll play around. I'll bring cigars for everybody and we'll just throw some music on. I don't even keep score, man. That's my thing.
Yeah, man. It all depends on how you shoot first, man. That determines
I don't
everything.
even
Hey,
keep score in any part of it.
that sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah, man.
I can get involved if I can.
What you got for a book? I'm sure you've been brewing something
Nah,
over
man,
there, man.
you doing it big right now. I mean, he sounds like and very involved in with teaching the youth as well, right?
Oh,
Um,
always.
right.
Yeah.
So you changing lives, working through this. What kind of legacy would you want to leave? As you
Ooh,
continue to train our youth community, man. What is? Well, tell me a
that's a
little bit
deep
about that.
question, coach. That's a deep question.
I knew
Yeah.
you were
Um,
putting up something together.
Nah, man, I just want to talk, man. We just chopping it up, man.
Look, man, my personal legacy is I want to help as many people, especially people that look like us, start businesses. We live in a very different age where a lot of the barriers that we had to deal with 50, 60 years ago aren't necessarily there. And let me be clear about what I mean by that, right? I mean, back in the day, they limited our access to information and ability to get education.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn almost anything you want to learn on YouTube.
Facts.
And if there's anything that I've learned from through my time at corporate America, I mean, I'm not saying this to boast in any ability. I've been at Microsoft and the Red Hats and the IBMs. I've been there. If there's anything that I've learned, the best way to get ahead in America is through business. I mean, it's the greatest sport in the world. We just haven't been taught that. We haven't been conditioned that. That would be my legacy, right? I want to introduce as many people as I can to take their passion, to take their discipline and focus that on building a business and building their own personal legacy for their family. That's how we elevate our people. That's what I truly believe.
I like that.
I agree with that, man. We were listening to a gentleman the other day, and he was talking about, uh, you know, most of our minority kids feel like entertainment, sports, and all those things are the pathway, right? But he talked about introducing engineering programs and financial literacy and accounting. How do we switch that around and get these kids to say, hey man, it's actually cool to be smart. It's actually cool to own a business. You don't necessarily, like I tell kids all the time, man, you might not make it to the NFL, but you can still be involved in football. You could be a coach, you could be a trainer, you could be
An
an
agent.
agent. There's all these things. So how do we shift the gears to let kids know, hey man, it's not all physical.
Right.
We can use that brain because I remember a gentleman, man, I respect greatly growing up in my neighborhood. His name was Dobie Smith. He told me one thing that stood out since I'm 7, 8 years old. Your brain is going to take you a whole lot further than your back. Your back is eventually going to give up. So how do we get kids to say,
Like mine.
yeah, how do we get kids to say, hey man, it's cool to be a smart, it's not, it's, like, what you heard this term coming up. Oh man, you sound white. No, I sound intelligent.
Yeah.
How do we shift that narrative and say, man, it's cool to be smart, bro. It's cool to own
To
a
be the
business.
CEO. Yeah.
It's cool to have a PhD. It's cool to not have to rely on your back and your muscles and your brawn to make a living.
Right. So look, man, I'm really big on environment. And it's interesting that you gave the quick example. I've heard it before, right? Oh man, you sound white or whatever that it might be. But you know what's directly correlated with that? I heard that when I was in the hood with my black friends. I didn't hear that when I was in environments where sounding white is what kind of advanced you business wise. And I'm not knocking the young brothers or for doing that. What I'm emphasizing is you talked about how do we get more doctors? How do we get more lawyers? How do we get more people to look beyond our athletic abilities? We got to put them in better environments. I'll give you a quick story, man. A good friend of mine, we went to school together. He lives out in San Fran, out in Silicon Valley. I don't know if you've ever been to San Fran, but that is not a fun city and is not a safe city. Not one of the places I want to live, man. I'm not a big San Fran fan.
Super expensive.
Yeah, and crazy expensive. So I asked him, I said, hey, man, why are you living in San Fran? Come back to the East Coast, man. You can take your money, you can double your spending power. He said, man, I am in the place that I need to be to achieve my goals. He said, I'm trying to start the next $100 million business. When you're in San Fran and Silicon Valley, I got 5 friends who each made 50 million off selling their business. Every bank in San Fran knows how to loan money to a business. That's what they do. That environment is what he was talking about. He said, look, if I go back to the East Coast, they don't know how to do what I'm trying to do. This is the environment for me. So I can sacrifice some of the things that you feel are challenges with San Fran. That part is true. But for where he's trying to achieve, that's the environment he needs to be in. And bro, that hit me so hard.
Makes sense.
Right? So in our own lives, when you think about the moments in your life where you felt you were on the height of your life, whether it was the happiest, whether it was the healthiest, whatever that it might have been, think about who was around you in your life. And then in the moments where you felt most stressful and you dealt with certain challenges you just felt like you shouldn't have dealt with, think about who was around you. The environment is really what's hurting us. And I don't have to describe what these environments look like. If we want to make a change on some of that, we got to put our kids and put even our own families in better environments.
I love that, man. I love that because I always thought that was one of the most self-hating statements ever. Like, you sound white, so what are you saying? If I sound black, I sound ignorant? Like, to me, that doesn't make
Exactly.
no sense. It's like, so if I sound white, that means I'm intelligent. If I sound black, ah. So we got to get away from that mindset, man. And I appreciate you saying that. So, hey, man, what's the future of We Golf? Are we going to be in every bar? Are we going to be in every country club? Are we going to every golf club? Is this going to be a teaching tool? What's the goal? What's the vision for We Golf?
We are we got a pretty aggressive expansion plan, right? We cover the East Coast for the most part right now, from about DC down to Orlando. And we've got a pretty aggressive expansion plan, right? We can talk business strategy another day, but in general, we are very confident by the end of next year we'll be in a couple international markets that have drawn some interest from us to start up over there. Now, I think what's more important, really, the question what you're really asking is, yeah, I mean, certainly the business of We Go Golf is going to grow, but revenue is just one metric. How many lives can we impact? Now, that's the real question, right?
Yeah.
If we get into these additional markets and we're impacting other people that same way, think about how amazing that would be if we can talk about, hey man, we helped 2,000 kids worldwide start net new businesses. We first taught them how to play golf, then we taught them how to handle their finances and how to start a business. Now that's what I hope would be my legacy, and I get to tell you about them the next time I'm on the podcast.
Oh man, hey, listen, man, we can't wait for that, brother. We definitely. And speaking of businesses, man, you know, through the whole Clappers event, man, and actually we were all on the golf course. We were met some guys, and so I want to shout out my guy Randy with Premier Clothing, man, who blessed me with this shirt, man. This is a very comfortable shirt.
That's dope, right?
It's dope, man. Yeah, it looks good, but it plays well, it breathes well, man, and it's a great product. So shout out to my guy Randy at Premier Clothing, man. It's a dope dope atmosphere, man. Dope guy, and love the clothing, man. So we also looking forward to that We Go Golf gear, man. We want to wear that hat. So I know you got something coming for us, brother.
So
Yeah, I got you, man. Don't worry
can
about
we go
it.
somewhere local and kind of get involved with We Go Golf, the simulators, and can we? I don't know. I don't play golf, but I love playing it. We play it a lot on this PlayStation.
Yeah,
We killing it
Yeah.
on the Tiger Woods. We killing it. What?
yeah. That's a good question, man. How can we
Yeah.
find the product?
How can the listeners, if people wanted to get involved in We Go Golf, what it
Absolutely. First, check out our website, right?
for sure?
Check us on Instagram, Facebook. But more importantly, right, the way that our service mostly works is most of the time corporations hire us to support them on team building or networking or
Right.
customer engagement events. That's the core of where our events are. But we do a significant number of events for organizations that are certainly to support the community. So if you're one of those organizations as well, and you're looking for a way that we can boost your event through our activation, reach out to us. I mean, we are very, very, very mindful and friendly cost wise to organizations that are really supporting the community. And if there's a private or personal party that you're interested in, well, we do that also.
Yeah, I have some things I want to chop it up with you about off the air, man. I had a great idea. I think you'll be receptive to it. So, man, is there anything else we need to know about We Go Golf? We need to know about Dr. Franklin, man, that we haven't covered that we need to get out there to the people.
No, man, it's not about me, man. Look, again, I hope we go golf is stays on the trajectory that it's on and we can achieve this mission. I do want to say one thing, man. I love what you guys are doing, man. I love your platform. I did a bunch of research on it before I jumped on. I drove up to the city to kind of put myself in the vicinity of where you guys are. Look forward to visiting your studio in person here soon as well. But keep doing your thing, brother. I just love seeing that, man.
We appreciate you,
Yeah,
man.
man, we definitely appreciate you coming on, man, and we big community guys and neighborhood guys, man, that get out and try to make a huge positive impact in the community in so many different ways. So, the we salute to you and what you're doing too, Mr. Franklin, Doctor
Dr.
Franklin.
Franklin, bro.
Excuse me.
Hey, look,
Get it
I ain't
right.
gonna stop you from saying that. That took me a long time to get those three letters.
Hey, man, you did your thing, man.
Nah, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, guys. You coming on, man. Take your time. I know you got a lot going on, man. You're a family man, so we are definitely appreciate you taking this time out on a Friday night, man, to chop it up with us. And
Yeah,
we look forward to bringing you back, man, because
for
like I
sure.
said, I got some things brewing. I think you're gonna come back on and tell the
Well,
people.
look, we got a couple things brewing as well. So look for me. I would love to bring you down there. Love to bring you down in a little more of official capacity and let you kind of, do your thing as you did, man. I thought you did a great job interviewing folks and everything, man. Y'all are some talented brothers.
That'd be great,
We
man.
appreciate you,
We
man.
appreciate you, Doc.
Man, tell the people how to get in touch with We Go Golf, man, and before we let you get out of here.
No doubt. You can check us out on our website, www.wegoGolf.com. WeGo.golf. Yeah, or check us out on Instagram at WeGoGolf.
Love it, bro. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Okay, Doc. We'll talk to you soon, man.
No doubt. Thanks, gents.
All right, we appreciate you. Hey, that was dope,
That's
man.
Dr. Franklin, man.
Dr. Franklin,
That
man,
shit big, man.
PhD, bro.
PhD.
Cool guy, man. This is what I'm talking about, man. How golf can open you up to so many different avenues, man. I would have never met this guy otherwise, right?
Right. That's why we
Cool
got to,
guy,
hey, man, that's why we got to get outside, bro.
man. Golf is dope, bro. Like I play. I'll be the first one to tell you, I played absolute terrible today.
No, we ain't talking about your ass.
But guess what? I was out
Was
there
it
playing.
therapeutic, though?
I was out there
It's a,
playing. I was in nature. I was out there making fun of my homeboy. Who said
it's a, it's a, it's a, it's a,
who came
it's a,
up with his own rules? I came up with, it was a great day, man. Well, I wouldn't. I'd rather not be. I'd rather be there than working.
looking blurred.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and.
You want to switch over?
You mean switch?
I mean, nah, you can stay. You
Actually,
good.
I'm gonna take this. Let me take this back. That's what's killing. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah, man.
There we go. That's better. All right.
I think that clears you up.
That cleared me
that,
up.
That give you
That cleared me up quite
just
a
the
bit.
all green. Right.
It's all good. I'm gonna turn it to the Hulk in a minute, so
Uh
you
oh.
know what I'm saying.
You might, man. Your new shirt on is,
Yeah, this
is
hey,
stuff.
hey boy, hey, look at man, Premier Apparel, bro. They sharp. I think he called this the pink flat splatter, whatever he called it, but it's dope, bro. He got the pen. He got a couple different looks, man. Randy's a cool cat. We met him out on the golf course.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk to those guys yet, right?
It's coming, man. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. I don't sweat nothing, man. We don't sweat nothing, bro. But we got a big thing coming up tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, JMA. I saw the comment, man. They already made the colors, the right colors for that trophy for
Man,
you, bro.
it's a small thing for a giant. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna have sledging. What they say? They killing ants with sledgehammers.
Yeah, ain't nothing to it. We in our element, man. So you know what I mean? We getting down, bro.
Getting down.
Yeah, we in our element, so we ain't stressing. We get ready to have some fun tomorrow, man.
That's tomorrow at Mountain Allen Charter.
Tomorrow at Mountain Island Charter, man. Yep. Yep. Tomorrow at Mountain Island Charter. Hey, but look, yeah. Shout out to Twin, man. I sent him the link, man, but he probably busy.
Probably getting it the last minutes together.
I hope he got an engraver so he you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I will tell you this.
I hope he got.
I haven't heard
engraver.
from him since that little 707 last
Yeah, I
week.
want him to.
I ain't heard from him all week. In fact, his son didn't even come work out this week because I guess y'all must have put that dial on him.
Yeah, I want him to get that engraver so he can. We need that on
Make
the
sure to
spot.
spell it right.
Yeah, it's just 3 letters.
Yeah, he ain't heard. He ain't talked to me about the 707 this week.
Nah, you ain't heard nothing from him.
Yeah, well, he was quick to call me that one day, but
Yeah.
I ain't heard from him since. It's been almost 7 days. I ain't heard from him.
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a pip. Not a squeak.
Man, you know what, man? I went out. We went fishing a little bit, man. Cause I'm into this youth football thing, man, pretty heavy.
Okay.
Always have been. Come on, it ain't,
Right.
ain't
Ain't
nothing
like
new,
it
man.
just started.
But I be having questions, man.
You went fishing?
I went fishing a little bit.
Okay.
I wanted to get into the minds of the people, and what's going on out there, just kind of all over the country, man. I went fishing. I asked a few questions. I got some. We got some pretty heavy responses, man. I'm trying to pull some up as we speak, man. One of the questions was, which I think we got a lot of responses to this question was, what is it about youth football as a coach that makes you say, I'm done? It's just not fun anymore, right?
Ooh.
Like we wanted to, we wanted to ask that question, man.
Are you asking me, or is that just a question?
I mean, that's the question we put out there. I mean, certainly you can answer it. You was involved in the game. What
I think for me, it was just the lack of control in the crowds, bro. It's just got crazy. It's like I think people got away from what it's about. It's about the kids. It's about a safe environment for families to come out and watch sports and let the kids play. And I feel like it's become everything but that.
Right.
It's become more about the coaches, more about the social media posts, more about the swag, the more about it's not about fundamental youth football anymore. And I think that's the one thing I can't, and I'm not knocking all these coaches because there's some coaches that still, that I could speak of that because that's around my boy Gibb, Dietrich, those guys are still doing it the right way in my opinion. And my guy Antonio Howard over there with what's that team? I can't think of his name right now, but he does a great job, man. Spartans and a couple of guys I know personally that's still doing it, that do it for the right reasons. But some of them I can't speak on because I really don't know their agenda. But you can kind of see the agenda. So
Right.
I feel like it's gotten away from what it's supposed to be. That's the thing that turned me
Yeah,
off.
yeah, certainly, there's been some incidents that kind of keep you, kind of saying, you know what, they don't respect. If you love the sport, if you love the sport like we do, and and we're intentional about what we do in the sport, and now it's like, what happened to the integrity of it, you
There
know?
you go.
I think we've lost the integrity, especially at the games. At the
Yes.
games, when you got fans and fans are, yeah, come on, man. You're always gonna have some belligerent fans, and
Right.
you're gonna always have these sideline coaches and these parents, man. But
Right.
of course the idea of anything endangering families that comes out to
That's a no no.
support, it can definitely drive you out of the sport. Not only does it drive you the coach, you've gotten referees who no longer want to support youth sports.
It's not
Uh,
worth it.
Um, so, but it's I can say it's worth it, or I don't know. I guess I can't say it's not worth it.
I got a better question. You said, "What's the one thing that will keep me from coaching again?" Is that basically what you said?
The question was, what makes you what is it about youth
Yeah, yeah.
football
Okay,
as a
there you go.
coach that makes you say,
So here's a better
as a
question.
coach, that
Here-
I'm done.
Here's a better question. How did we get
Listen,
here? How did we get to that question?
how did we get to it?
How did we get to that? How did we get to where you people are contemplating that? Man, I don't even know if I want my son out there. I definitely don't want to coach out there. We didn't even think about that when we first started coaching. Our goal was to go out and train kids and teach them how to be young men and obviously teach them how to play football. But at the first and foremost is how to be respectable young men and good citizens in the community and go on and do something great with your life. And football was just the conduit that got them through the door, and that's what kept them hooked. But our overall goal was to produce quality young men. So how did we get to the point where people was like, I don't even know if I want to be involved with that? How did that happen?
I mean, hey man, it I think like even what Dr. Franklin talked about earlier, it's the environment that you put yourself in. You can easily you can arrive to that decision to say I'm done faster, or you can put yourself in the right environment, and you might end up having a pretty good journey. So what I mean by that is, you know, if you, let's just say, it's not too many leagues out there other than the American Youth Football League, the Pop Warner League,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have your AAUs. So which one do you get involved in? Which one causes you the most stress? Because some leagues are a little bit more stressful than others by the way the leagues are ran, by the
Structure.
by the structure, of
Mm-hmm.
course, by the structure and the organization of the league. Yeah. So, and then of course, if you're involved in the organization, it depends on the organization itself,
Mm-hmm.
and what organization you get involved in, and really, how involved do you get? you know do you just coach, or do you get involved in it? If you see the structure is not there, if you see the organization is not there, if you see that this organization needs help, how involved do you get, before you just
Right.
say I'm done? you know
Yeah.
what's your effort in trying to make change, man?
I
you
think
know
that's a part of who you are, though. I don't know if that's like, and that's not for everybody. Some guys just want to come out there, coach for 2 hours, and go home. And then you got people like yourself that take it a step further, that have kids in your home, taking kids to church, and having them play basketball for your team. Just keeping that team environment, keeping your hands on them year round somehow. So I think it's a matter of the type of individuals that want to get involved, that encouraged to get involved. Like I said, you do more than coach football, right? You've mentored a lot of kids that are playing Division I ball now and doing other things. So
Right.
it's like, I think it has to be something in you, what your purpose is, what your goals are for these children, right?
Fact.
So I feel like you've done a great job in that. So let me give you your flowers on that. But
Yeah.
some guys are just, if you're
Thank you.
listen, if you're in it just to win, trophies and for social media status, please stop coaching. Please stop coaching, because anybody can do that.
You know what the number one thing that people, the number one thing that answered this question was, I'm gonna ask the question again. What is it about youth football as a coach that makes you say, I'm done? It's just not fun anymore. The number one
Parents.
answer is freaking parents.
The parents, bro, the low the over expectation and delusion of some of these parents, right?
How?
Because they don't want to hear the truth, and they feel like every kid's gonna, now with the NILs, they feel like their kid's gonna be getting paid in high school. Your kid's not even that good. Like, here's the thing. Let's just keep it real. Let's take a kid. Let's just go from kids that we actually know, right? Let's go back to Marquez North. We knew that kid was going to play college ball. Let's go back to Jolly Alexander. We knew he was going to play college ball. We can't say who's going to play pro ball. Keontae Cotton, KD Cotton, all these kids that came through, we absolutely knew in youth football that they had a career in college football, right? Then there's 98% of the kids we knew that once youth football was over, your career is probably going to be over.
Yeah.
You can spot those kids. Like,
Right.
you have to be realistic, right? It's not even so much, to me, like, I can tell before a kid gets to middle school if he's going to make it.
Right.
Because it's not about his athletic ability only. It's how he understands the game, how respectful he is, how he prepares, how he practices, how he stays out of trouble in school so he can be on the field. Right? All those things that make a great athlete, not just his athletic ability, but his leadership skills. Like, you don't have to worry about this kid goofing off. Like, there's one kid, since I've been coaching football, 20 years of experience. One kid, his name is Dominique Heath. That kid got out of the freaking car in full uniform. I've never seen it before, and I've never seen it since.
Right.
And he ended up playing Canadian football, right? He played the Canadian NFL professionally. Those are the guys that are special, right? But you also know the guys that,
No.
once youth football's over, son, you might want to think about
We want to talk about what makes a mama quit. The parents. How it? Hey, I'm just saying. I got on this post. We probably got 75, 80, over 100 responses. Parents, politics, parents. That's what we get. And then let's talk about. We got a comment from Michael Bernabella. Excuse me, and he offered a little bit more. He said, there's no support from organizations. Too much negativity, ignorance, and unrealistic expectation from
the parents.
Parents reinforcing negative attitudes and bad behavior from their children,
Right.
and making excuses for them instead of helping me as a coach to instill discipline, a winning culture, and a healthy environment of brotherhood. I'm still actively coaching and loving it and my guys, but those are some of the major things I feel could make me want to hang it up.
I can't argue with
So
you.
I can't argue with
He
him.
hit the nail on the head.
But he's He's experiencing it though. It's coming.
Right. It's coming.
He's still coaching it. He's still loving it. Kids are still involved. I assume. I don't think he said anything about it. His kids. I think he's coaching, right?
Right.
But he clearly sees the negative support that he's getting from parents.
Right.
He said reinforcing negative attitudes.
Nah, they telling the
You
truth,
know what that
bro.
means? You know what that means? The parent gets in the car
There we go. That ride home.
and talks trash about the coach.
Absolutely.
Gets home, talks trash about the coach. So now the kid
Looking at you sideways.
is looking at you sideways
don't
when he
respect
comes
you.
to practice. He don't
Right.
respect you.
Absolutely.
His body language is crapped up, and his mother or father or whoever who's supporting him with this is supporting him in a negative way about his coach.
No, that he bro, I don't even know
Forget about it.
if you can like illustrate that any better than what he said. It's the absolute truth. You
Ta-
know, you
okay.
got these parents that, first of all, you know your son is not that good. Stop playing. Like, you keep switching organizations. You keep switching organizations. You keep doing this. He's not that good, and that's okay. That's okay. Maybe football's not for him, right? But I'm saying, so stop blaming everybody else when your child clearly doesn't have the talent to go to the next level.
Hey, this guy Todd Gottschall. I don't know. These guys are from all over the country. He says, once again, parents only. Everything else is enjoyable. It's just the parents.
That's absolutely
That's coming from Todd. If you listen to
Todd. Shout out to Todd, bro.
Todd said parents only.
So-
Everything else is enjoyable.
So it seems like overwhelmingly it came down to parents. So there's an answer. So now, how do we fix that?
Oh,
you remember
man.
when we was
I think-
practicing over at
Yeah.
remember we was practicing over at JT
Yeah,
and we had that yellow rope
yeah.
and we told parents from the very beginning, first before we start, hey, listen, I got everything on this side of this rope. You got everything on that side of the rope. I'm not gonna go on that other side of the rope and tell you how to be a parent. Don't come on this side of the rope and tell me how to coach.
Yeah, it certainly get.
You gotta set the
You have to have
standard.
You have to have
up
some
front.
barriers.
Yeah, because if you don't, because I'll give it to, like, I had a kid come train me the other day. Me and his dad are good. Me and his dad are super cool. Me and his dad are super cool. I'm close with his family. I've trained his cousins, family, whatever. You know, and we were going through. It was his first time working out with me, and you know, he was going through some things, and you know, the first thing the parents always say, move your arms, right? You know, respect, right? But how do you know I want him to move his arms? How do you want? I want to know. I might be telling him just to move his legs so I can look at. But anyway, afterwards, I had a talk with him and say, "Yo, bro, I respect you and everything, but if you want me to train your kid, you're gonna have to let me train."
Right.
Because what we don't need is that kid looking at you every time he makes a mistake, and then so his loyalties to you
Right.
as a father, but the guidance is coming from me. So if you want me to train him, let me do my thing. You know, but if you don't, that's cool too. I respect it. But you got to have these conversations. It wasn't nasty. I wasn't rude. You know, I was very, amicable and you know, clear what my intentions were and you know what I expected, and he received it. You know, I ain't give up. Yo, bro, you gotta get the fuck up out of here, bro. I'm training your son. When you want me to fucking train him, or you want to train that's just gonna cause conflict. Right? It's how you approach any situation. Like with the parents, hey, look, if you gonna want me to coach, let me coach him. If you don't, and that's fine too. But you can coach him, and I'll come cheer on him. I'll come cheer for him.
This guy, and I got a couple responses about this question. He puts it in a different perspective, which kind of makes sense to me a little bit. Parents are only as bad as the head coach that manages them in a respectful way. You gotta have thick skin because parents will always criticize and second guess your coaching.
Absolutely.
But what would make me say I'm done is the politics and promises not kept by an association. You lose my trust, and then I'm done. So that makes sense. A couple key points is once you take on this job as a head coach, assistant, or whatever role you are as a coach on the staff, you got to have some thick skin because
Everything comes
the
with it.
parents are gonna always criticize. They gonna whether it's constructive or just straight blatant
He can't
criticism.
coach. But what he said, the first thing he said is basically what I just told you I did with the parent. Is how you manage
How
those
you
parents,
manage them,
how
their
you manage
response.
If you listen, no one's gonna take respect as disrespect,
Right.
right? So if you respectfully, hey, listen, respectfully, bro, I just need to, this is how I want to be transparent. This is my viewpoint on this. And most of the time, if you approach somebody with civilly and respect, they're gonna give it back. But if you be like, "Yo, bring it," listen, bro. If you want me to motherfucking train your son, I need you to stay outside. Now we got a problem.
Right.
Now you just check this man.
Right.
But if I come to you and like, listen, we're both looking for the same thing. What's best for your child?
Right.
So let me do my part. You do your part by bringing them here and waiting for them. And I got them. I promise you. I've done this 1,000 times. So it's like how you, like he said, how you manage the parents.
Cool.
That's the key.
I like that perspective.
Yeah, I love that.
So
Shout out
we're
to
gonna
Sid.
one more is very key is something that would make this Crystal Salas. Sorry, Crystal, if you're listening. She said unorganized leadership
Oh Lord.
and poor communication. Wait a minute. Is this the one? No. Yeah. So unorganized leadership and poor communication it is a part of it that would make her say, you know what, forget about this. But it was
That
another
sounds
one.
like that will make the parents say, "Screw this," not the coach.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
coach is unorganized. That's terrible.
but I mean, poor leadership in some of these organizations has
Yeah.
definitely made people say, you know what, I'm done with this. Or because obviously there's not enough of very organized organizations,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're in this big city of Charlotte right now. We got over what 2-3 million people here in the city. A lot of kids in the city. They need quality. A lot of them seeking quality organizations. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them can't seem to find, consistently quality organizations that consist of coaches who know the game.
Well,
If nothing else, man, listen, I tell any of these coaches, at least if nothing else, man, know the basics, bro. Have a good practice plan put together, and at the least, if a parent decides to park their car and listen to you as you start your practice, at least let your initial practice, man, just have a damn practice plan.
right. Yeah, go to a script.
Stop these crappy practices, bro. Like soon as they get to practice, man, one coach might be sitting there on the cooler, one coach might be on his phone,
Mm.
and then the coach that's in charge might just take the whole team to just running plays. What position you play? Defense. You play defense. You like offense. You play defense. And I've seen this shit go
Nah,
down like
I've
this.
seen it.
Cut it out, man.
But here's the thing, too, bro. When you said something that was interesting, and we actually experienced this, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you got some parents that will go start an organization
Oh my God.
because their kid is not started.
Oh my God.
But let me ask you this, Coach. You've been coaching how long, Coach? Let me ask you.
A long time, bro.
How long? Let's put a number.
25 years.
25.
Okay.
Okay. In 25 years, when have you not put the best players on the field? What have you not done that?
Man, listen, man.
And you coached my son, and my son rode the bench on some of your teams for a while, and he worked himself in. So has nothing to do with anything else.
Bro.
What coach is not gonna fucking play the kids that's gonna help him win?
Bro, man. I'm so done. Look, I'm done. I'm so done with some. Hey, bro, I'm really so done with some of these coaches.
Right.
And their styles, and they're underdeveloping these kids, man. And like you said, some of these guys, man, they will, or even some of the parents, they will get together with a parent and start a whole nother organization because their son is not being put, up front.
But let me ask you this: your son 4 catches and 1 yard.
Come on, man.
Is he a running back? Is he a threat out of the backfield?
Absolutely not. I mean, this shit is it's going crazy, man.
It's comical, bro. It's so comical, bro. Like, bro, your son is a fucking center. Get him from the backfield, bro. Like, stop the shit.
Man, it's going crazy, man. And but I mean, bottom line is, hey, parents,
Parents,
you're taking the fun out of the game. You're making coaches who really want to coach your kid. You're just say, I'm done. I quit.
yep.
You win.
Here's what parents need to understand.
You win.
99 point probably 5%, 99.5% of the players in the NFL higher level are there because somebody other than their parent gave a damn about that kid.
Yep.
So stop.
Stop, man.
Stop the bullshit. Okay. If your son was good, you wouldn't even have to have the conversation. Because guess what? When I started bodybuilding, one of the first things my coaches told me, if you're good, people will tell you you're good. You don't have to say it.
Absolutely.
So if your son's a baller, you don't have to fucking say it. People are going to tell you your son's a baller. And if people are not telling you that, chances are your son's not a baller. And that's okay. Maybe he's a great speller.
Another question coming up. So
He
okay.
could be a good golfer.
Here's one of the other questions. When do you know that you have found the best youth football organization that fits your kid? When do you kind of know? I got a couple of responses from that.
I think when you see your son clearly or daughter now, because we have girls playing football too, your child, let's say that, clearly better than the day they went out there.
Yeah.
They have an enthusiasm for the sport. They don't dread going to practice because they are getting better. Their overall confidence improves. They're all those things. They
Right.
do better in school. They're better children. They're better kids.
Great.
They're a better brother. All those things are a positive from a great organization.
Yep.
Like when they look forward to going to practice, obviously they're getting better. When they can't, let's not get it twisted. Like I've been working out my whole life. There's some days I don't feel like working out, but 99% of the time I can't wait to get to the gym. So when you got a kid that can't wait to get to practice, can't wait to play in the games, and respects his coach, and he's learning, that's when you know you found a great organization.
Great. We're gonna follow up with that. That's great. That's great. And because let's talk about Mr. Marcus King. He keeps it very simple. When the organization chooses development over trophies, over winning, when development is more important,
I agree.
I guess, than winning,
I
right?
agree.
Let's talk about Stephen Smith. He says when the kids want to keep coming back every year, and you feel like he is still being developed, regardless of the record. My son has been playing for the same coach going on 4 years. He moved an hour and a half away and still went back last year, and we are going. So they're hunting this coach
So
down.
he's dedicated.
They hunting this coach down
You got a
because
dedicated coach.
because they see, exactly what you were saying. They see the development, kids excited about the game, and he wants to keep coming back now. Now I'm gonna keep making these comments, and I got my own.
No, I love that because here's the thing, man. Like people put so much emphasis on winning, right? You've been coaching youth football for, you said 20 years?
25 years at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you won,
A lot.
several state champions.
Yeah.
You've been to the national level. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you won a state championship?
I won a state championship in 2022.
What was the score?
I don't even remember.
That's my fucking point. No one remembers. You don't remember the score of these games. You probably don't even remember who you played to win it.
I doubt it.
I'm saying, but it's like, stop putting so much emphasis on winning games and put the emphasis on, is my son getting better? Am I getting better as a coach? Am I developing players better? Are my kids leaving me and going to the next level and starting? Right? Or are my kids going to the next level and washing out? So that's a measure of your coaching ability.
Right.
Like to me, that was one of the biggest things that prior to coaching at Betty's Fort Saints, that when these kids left our junior midget team and some of the kids that played midget, they go to high school and they fucking start.
Right. Period.
If you're not developing them, that's not happening.
Here's what I say about parents. When we ask you that, when that question is asked, when do you know that you found the best football organization? Here's the problem. Here's a problem that I think that's going around in youth football. The parents don't do the research.
Facts.
The parents don't do enough research about the organization that you're dropping your kid off with. To you've been sold.
Because they win.
You've been sold on a name, or yeah, because you've heard they win.
Right.
So you're assuming that that's a part of the, they must be developing that, or you don't even think about development. You just, I'm taking them to the most popular organization. You don't do your research. You don't know who the coaches are. You don't know who you're dropping. You don't stick around. They don't stick around to see who the coaches are.
'Cause they're babysitters.
And those are typically the ones that show up on Saturday and they're in the bleachers yelling like hell, going crazy, and I hate this organization. Well, truth is, you didn't do your research.
You didn't do anything.
So you don't know if this organization fits the development of your kid or not.
Here's the thing, man. This is the thing that really bothers me about the current climate. And I understand there's the one thing that's constant in life is change, right? So everything's going to change. Nothing's going to remain the same, and that's great. But my thing is this: here's the downfall of this win now culture is that these coaches are going out and getting the best players.
Yeah.
Now,
For sure.
versus when you were a kid playing football for Powell, which most black kids does definitely play for Powell. You fucking play with the kids in your neighborhood. You didn't go across town and find this kid for this part. You didn't go across town and find this lineman. You didn't go across town and find this DB.
It's your neighborhood.
You got the kids in your neighborhood.
Period.
And you played against kids in other neighborhoods. And that it is what it is. It's a pride thing. So now that you got all these quote unquote all-star teams, the coach really can't fucking coach. He's just got the best players.
Period.
He got the fastest kid in the city that what did we do in youth ball up till fucking 12U? Get to the edge.
Get to the edge.
If I can got the fastest kid and I can get one block and he can outrun everybody, that's all I'm looking for. So you're not even developing your line. Now, there's some guys that I've seen that develop their line in a early age. 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're just relying on the best athlete. And guess what happens to that guy? Because I've seen it 1,000 times. You're not coaching him because you can't coach. You're letting him play off his ability, right? Because he's just better than everybody else. But guess what happens when he gets to high school and everybody's good? But they got technique and they've been developed.
Yep.
He's going to fucking quit. He's going to be on the streets because now he hasn't been coached to compete, for one. And he don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just a better athlete than everybody else. Now you got kids that are great athletes that understand what the fuck they're doing versus this guy who's going to end up on the bench and then he's going to quit. Because you fucking use him. You used him to win fucking football games. You didn't develop his skill set.
Period.
And now he's done with football. And that's on you, coach. Shame on you for using that kid just to win trophies. That's how I
Period.
feel about that. Call me what you want.
Once again, when do you know that you have found? Oh, is this my? Oh, okay. When you found the best football organization for your kid that fits your kid. Sabrina Hawkins Williams. I like her response. I even responded. She said when the head coach is not a daddy to a kid or multiple kids on the team and actually runs the team as a head coach instead of standing back allowing his assistants to make all the calls. When the coaches pour into the development of all the kids, not just the superstars. When it's not just about getting another cheap trophy or kids getting a ring that you can buy off Amazon.
What?
When
Who
losses,
said that?
this is Sabrina Williams.
Shout out to you, Sabrina.
When losses are handed with dignity and used as a learning tool during practice. When the coaches take the time at the next practice to explain to the kid what they did wrong and what they need to do to work on, maybe do a quick film work, some clips and reviews so they can explain it to the kid. Instead of throwing them to the side and not giving them a chance to redeem themselves. When it's a total growth experience and the organization is involved in the community.
Mm.
Lastly, when the coaches and parents show mutual respect for each other as well as the other team, the organization doesn't tolerate adults getting out of line fighting in front of the kids.
So I'm gonna tell you two.
Boom!
Let me tell you two things.
Sabrina
Let me tell you two things I know
Williams.
about Sabrina
Hawkins
Williams,
Williams.
and I don't even know her. She's college educated, and she probably works in HR. That's what I.
Damn.
That's what I got from that.
She
Sabrina.
laid it out.
She laid it out. She's definitely college educated. Probably works in corporate America, but she's telling the truth though.
She's had an experience. I would say she's had some experiences. She's very observant, apparently. She sees what's going on out there on the field. She's had some experiences, and she's just able to
Nah, she
articulate
very
what
well.
it is
Very
that,
well.
that she's experienced.
I respect
And
it.
she's very observant. So I definitely respect that response.
No, that's a great
Shout out.
great response actually.
Shout out to Sabrina Hawkins.
Go Sabrina
Williams.
Hawkins.
That was a great
Yes.
response.
We need to
to
get
that
her on the
question.
show.
All
She
right.
might need to hold a team mom meeting.
Let's see. Yeah, for real.
Sabrina, good job.
So, what is it about? Nah, we're gonna do this one. Eh.
Uh-oh. What we got? What's brewing, coach?
Nah, this is it. So many coaches. So many coaches are. So many coaches go underappreciated for their service. Give a youth football coach his flowers, and tell him why.
No, that's the truth, man. It's a absolutely thankless position because, for one, if you're really a coach, you're not doing it for pats on the back and accolades. You're doing it because you love the sport. One,
Right.
you love to teach. Two, and you want to see these guys become great young men. At the end of the day, obviously you want to win. That's a byproduct of all this shit. But the key is you love what you're doing. You're developing young men, and and you understand that you embrace it. That it's a thankless job, because you don't do it for accolades. Because if that was the case, we would have stopped a long time ago. We
For
both
sure.
compiled a pretty good list of accolades. But you know what, man? The coolest thing is I see these kids that I've coached, 15 years ago, thriving. They're businessmen. They're trainers. They own training companies. They're doing all these things, man, that are positive, and they still call me coach, bro. They still give me that love.
Don't you love it?
Oh man, that's the most. I think every coach lives for that. Kids that have their own children, that own their own business, that you haven't coached in 10+ years, they come back and they still have enough respect for you to call you coach. They still have enough respect for you to invite you to important events in their life. And you haven't coached that kid in 10 years. Shout out to my guy Justin Adams, man, Impact Speed Training. That's one of my proteges, man. He came, he was humble, he would come to my workouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy is doing great things, man, training kids from middle school to the pros. You know what I'm saying? NFL, NBA, baseball, all that good shit, bro. But he's a good kid that took the coaching and took the instruction well, and always been respectful. And now he's getting his just dues, man. So I love to see things like that.
Yeah, great. So Tyrone Knox Jr. says very simple. He said, "My flowers. You've already spoke on it. My flowers are for my players going on being successful.
Mhm.
That's where you know. Shout out to Coach Knox, and that's kind of how I feel about it. With the parents, forget about it. You're not getting a lot of flowers from the parents, as you can see. The parents,
That's not what we do.
the parents will drive your ass out. But to see your kids, go on, the kids that you positively impact,
Mm-hmm.
go on and be successful. Whether it's in sports or just being just productive citizens, man,
Absolutely.
professionals. Um, that's my flowers, right? That's my flowers, and I could care less. Is it good to hear for some people to say they appreciate you?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, coach, or thank you, coach. Yeah, it sounds it's a great thing to hear sometimes, but I don't expect it, and I'm
No.
not really looking for it, like you said.
That's not what you do.
But it's good to give people their flowers. These guys their flowers.
Nah, man. I heard a coach. Remember Bo Schembechler?
Schembechler, yeah.
You know what he said? he had a great team. I think that was a team that Jim Harbaugh was on. He was they was projected to win the national championship, right? And the reporter asked him, "Hey man, what kind of team do you have?" You know what his answer was?
What's that?
I'm not sure. Ask me in 10 or 15 years when their dads, their husbands, and their businessmen, and then I can tell you what kind of team I have.
Absolutely.
Like that's the fucking. When I heard that, I was like, "That's why you coach." Don't ask me now because how they if they can win football games. That doesn't make them great. That doesn't make them great players. That don't make them great men. Ask me when they're dads. Ask me when they're their husbands. Ask me when they're businessmen. Ask me when they're coaches. Then I can tell you what kind of team I have right now.
Absolutely.
That to me was one of the most profound things.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so and I think we've lived that, bro. We've always poured in these kids since selflessly, if that's the word. But and we've seen the rewards, man. So I'm proud of the work we've done. I can say that I'm proud of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, but you know, I say shout out to all the guys out there, man, that's providing what we call a service. You know, you're coaching, but really it's a service, man. We're servicing a lot of kids that need us, that look for us,
Absolutely.
that has high expectations of us, and the I don't even think about it, man, about getting flowers, man. It's just like I think about when that kid. I always ask my teams, man, you know, do you love this game,
Hmm.
right? And if you get 90%, 100% of them kids raising their hands, and they love it and they want to make it, man, the expectation goes up. You just put that coaching hat, put your
Hmm.
head down, man, and you just go for it, bro. You don't think about no flowers at the end of it. All you think about is, did I do my due diligence,
Fact.
man?
So
You
facts
know,
on facts.
right?
You say something, um, and I want to give you your flowers while we're on here. You say this, and I think uh, that it needs it's worth mentioning. Like one of the things you said is like you're not successful on accident
Oh yeah,
because think about this. You've done well with pretty much every team you've coached. So that means you've coached hundreds of kids. It's not like we've coaching the same kids for 20 years.
right.
Every year we get a new crop of kids. Every 3 or 4 years we get a brand new group of kids. So you're not successful on accident. There's some intentional work that you're doing to bring
Absolutely.
out the best in these kids. And you know, we've both coached on teams that are super talented, and we've coached on teams that are that's not so talented, but we got a bunch of hard workers.
Correct.
But guess what? Guess where I went the furthest with? The team that was just hard workers and not super talented.
Exactly.
I've gone to the nationals with the team, not some of the best teams I've had, athletic wise.
Right.
But guess what? They were the best team
Exactly.
that you had because they knew they weren't super athletes, but they understood if I do this and do this well, and I do my job, we can go anywhere we want to go. And that's
Period.
what took us to Florida. And
Yep.
that wasn't the most talented team I've ever had. Let's think about that. We had teams that games would be over in the fucking second, third quarter because they were so talented. These are teams that grinded it out, and fucking had to get it from the mud, and they played fundamental football, tough, hard nosed football, and won games. And not because they were super talented, because they outworked everybody.
Right.
So yeah, so I think that you know you didn't get all those championships and all that by accident. You definitely put the
Yeah,
work
that's
in.
a fact, man. A lot of these guys out here winning, man, and you got people hating on them, man. Hey, listen, bro. The guy you can hate on these guys, and shout out to all you football coaches, number one. But these guys is out here winning, man, constantly, and they continue to win. And that shit, I don't care. You saying they stack a team or whatever, whatever. Maybe people just gravitate to them because they do continue to win, and and as they graduate kids, the parents are seeing the development, and they're seeing their kid go to middle school and start, and for 2 years,
Hmm.
seventh grade and eighth grade, and then go to high school in the ninth grade, and they looking at varsity and stuff like that. So, and then you might have that youth football coach start all over again. Why is he successful? Oh, yes, once again, he starts at 7U or 6U, and he goes all the way through, and he's always
Developing.
developing, but comes developing also can turn into what? Winning. People say You know, it ain't about winning and losing. God darn it, if you're doing the right type of development and you just so
It
happen to
is
get those
about winning
special
and losing.
kids,
Let's
that shit
cut the
equates to win.
bullshit.
That shit equates to winning.
Yeah.
I haven't always, like you said, had the most talented team, but I'm not winning on accident.
Right. That's my whole
That
point.
shit's not happening by accident. How does this guy always in the mix at the top somewhere
Well, I can tell
winning
you what it is.
season?
I can tell you what it
How?
is. You believe in what you're coaching. You believe in your philosophy, and you get the kids to buy into where you're coaching. That's
Absolutely.
why. It doesn't matter what their talent level is. It doesn't matter. I saw coaching at Butler last year. And shout out to no knock on Coach Ferb. He did a great job. But I'm saying some of the kids just didn't buy in. If they don't buy in, they're not going to give you everything they got because
Period.
there's a level of resentment. Now, here's the thing. On the flip side, when Hell showed back up, those kids are totally different athletes because
Mhm.
they're familiar with him. So a lot of times it's the things that kids aren't familiar with. It takes time for them to accept that. Right. And I feel like if we'd had another year with this coach, things would have changed around and people would start understanding his philosophy. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And now we're back to the original recipe. So it is what it is. But I feel like I said, if you're developing the kids and you're doing it very intentional about developing kids and they buy in, you can't lose.
That shit turns into winning, man.
If they buy into the process,
Hey,
you can't lose.
thank you. If they buy into the process, they don't skip the process. If you got kids, first of all, the key word is buying in. If you buy into the culture, if you buy into the mindset of the team, and you respect the process, and you're not
You're gonna
looking to
win.
skip the process, then you're gonna win. Period. A lot of these guys out here, man, I'm telling you, man. Oh,
Don't
I,
do it,
I,
coach. Don't do it to yourself.
you just got some guys out here, man. We got guys out here that's hoarding kids, bro. Like you might get a coach that got 25
Come
kids,
up off that kid,
and
shout it.
and he's constantly
Come
what
up off him, shout
what
it.
I'm saying is he constantly losing. You're constantly losing. We go to the games and you see the development is not happening. You don't have the discipline, the work ethic. You don't see any of it, and they're losing. Like, dude,
So how do we fix that? There needs to be a betting system before guys can become coaches? Because I can go right now and say I'm starting an organization. I'm the head coach, and no one's going to check me on it. They're not going to see if I have any experience, if I won, if I've lost. They just say, "Hey, this guy paid his membership to be part of this league. Here we go."
crazy.
That's crazy because my son is not playing for someone that can't help him. I'm sorry. Like, and
Absolutely.
that's an advantage we have because we've coached and we understand it. And let's be clear. I've only coached my kids, my boys, when they were old enough to play for me.
Right.
I didn't go down and coach them all the way up. Nah, bro. I have a simple philosophy in life and football is you got to play up. I don't coach down. So you got to play up to where I'm coaching, or you just don't. That's just not for you. So um, I just feel like you got to vet these coaches more, man. Parents got to do the research on these coaches because there's nothing worse than kids being developed the wrong way,
Oh my God.
and then they get to the next level and they looking crazy because what are you talking about? You don't know what a 3-point stance is. You're in high school.
Hey, listen, man. There's some good organizations out there that has some decent coaches. I intentionally do stuff like I got 40 kids in front of me at middle school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other day, I separated the rising eighth graders and rising seventh grade. I separated them. Y'all get over here. You get over here. You get over here. And then I went through each and every one of them and asked them. And I kind of knew, we already knew who's gonna be our first team, who's our second team, as far as the 707 anyway.
Right.
For now. And then you start and some of the ones that I know, I just want to know who have you played football for, right? I do this, coaches. I'm telling y'all right now that Coach Booker at JM Alexander is going to ask the kids that come to my school,
Who'd you play
who
for?
did you play for? And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to call your ass out, right? So I asked these kids. They go through and they say who they play for. Mm. Who you play for, son? Some of them. First of all, unfortunately, they don't even remember y'all asking. Right?
That's
So
terrible.
they don't know. They don't
That's
remember.
terrible.
I think the name of the
Oh,
team
that's
was
terrible.
was the Wolfpack.
That's
I think they was.
absolutely terrible.
I think they was this or that. So I go through there and I ask them. Right, and I'm saying I'm looking at that group right there, and I'm saying it's these are the organizations that got these 15 kids that I know for a fact they're gonna have a problem making this football team. Go over here and start talking to these kids and say, okay, he's from McAdenville Dolphins. You got the NC Giants. Okay, this kid, you start naming all these kids have played for organizations that I know that are winning. They got some decent coaches and Gibson's type guys,
Right.
you know.
Let me ask you this though.
DJ Wise, but these guys over here, and I'm saying, see, this is the shit I'm talking about, man.
Well, here's my thing. Let me ask you this. Let me play devil's advocate, right? Because we always talk about compete and fight for your spot, all these things, and dance with the girl you brought to the prom, right? So let's say we got a kid, he's in an organization,
Mhm.
and he's just not being developed. Is it when is it time for him to jump ship and say, hey, is it one season? Is it 2 seasons? So maybe he starts at level 7. He's 7 years old and he's playing 7U, 8U, 9U. When do we say, okay, enough's enough? It's time for me to
I think
find a coach.
I think the at the
because we always saying that's one of the biggest knocks on these kids now is they don't want to compete and they jump from organization or high school to high school or college to college because of this. So what do we say to that kid? Is like, hey man, it's time for me to move on.
Yeah, well,
what's the timeline for that?
At 7U, 8U, 9, all those ages, those are developmental ages, right? So
those are important though.
So those are definitely important. Those are definitely important, but I don't know, man. It's really up to that parent, man, to be involved, to be able to know whether a dad is gonna know. I'm gonna test my kid
right.
and see if he knows what a 3-point stand is.
Right.
I'm gonna test my kid to see if he knows where the 1 hole, the 2 hole, the 3 hole, the 4 hole, the 5. What age group? I don't know. I'm gonna get my kid out of there early. I think it depends on the involvement of the parents.
Mm-hmm. So let's say this,
and it's probably a lot of single parent mothers. So it's hard to.
Don't do that.
It is. It's a lot of single parent mothers that may not, but they may not know the questions to ask to see how if their kids being developed or not.
So let me ask you
There's
this.
a huge mask when it comes to that.
Okay, here's the other side of that coin, right? Let's say that you can clearly see your child's getting better.
Right.
Clearly, he's not the same kid he was at 9 when he was 7.
Right.
He's a completely developed football player. Things are going well. He's learning his craft, but his team's losing.
Oh no.
So what are we doing? But let's say, because we said it's about development, and you can clearly see your kid getting better.
Yeah.
And he's not discouraged. He doesn't mind playing with his team.
Yeah. So
do we stay there or do we go to a winning program?
I'm staying.
You staying?
I'm staying. I'm staying.
How long are we staying?
I'm staying, but I'm staying, but I'm recruiting like a motherfucker. I'm recruiting. At that point, I'm getting involved to help the coach out.
What I'm saying is, like, you see your son getting better. His team's just not winning.
I'm staying.
But he's.
I wouldn't give a shit if in a case like that.
You staying?
Hell yeah.
Your son's happy.
If my son,
care about losing,
if my son is getting the gains that he needs to continue to, where I feel comfortable about him going into a middle school environment where he knows nobody's kids from all over the place.
Right.
But I know that I see a notable difference in his skill set, a notable difference in his mindset in his thought processes. And he's staying with that coach.
He's staying?
Oh yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't care nothing about that dude. Yeah.
But Dub makes it sweeter, but
the Dub make it sweeter, but I'm gonna do some heavy recruiting.
So let's turn that on the other side of the court. Your son is still the same player he was when he came to this organization, but they're winning.
Nah, bro.
So what are you doing?
Nah, bro.
Are you taking them out even though they're winning?
If you gotta ask me, bro, I'm about my kid. Now let's let there's another part to this. If you got a kid that's on a team that's winning, but you don't see any progress from the
Your player. I'm
from the
talking
coach,
about. Not no. I'm not talking about as a team. I'm talking about as your child.
right?
The
I'm
team is winning,
right.
but your child is. And your son. Let's say your son's starting. Let's just say that he's starting, but he's not getting any better.
The only way it's about the investment in your child, whether you get them some personal, because me, as a dad, I got additional trainings for my
Right.
kids. That's what I'm gonna do because truth is, some of these guys aren't qualified to teach skill specifics. To be honest, some coaches are just coaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some
X
of
and
them,
O guys.
some X and O guys, they don't know shit about how to develop a receiver. They don't know shit about how to develop a running back, a linebacker. They just X and O guys. So really, you gotta invest if you don't see the progress. I like the team; they're always winning. He's always experiencing traveling and getting that experience, going to nationals, playing in the regionals, playing on the biggest stage. But I don't see where this shit is gonna run out
Yeah.
at some point.
I will
So
say this. I'll touch on this because as a trainer, you said something important. Um, getting that kid to specialized training and all these things. Let me make one thing clear, parents that reach out to these coaches for training. Just because your son or your daughter comes home from a workout tired doesn't mean they got better.
that's fact.
I can make I can make fucking Michael Jordan tired if I just keep running them drills and keep doing these things and I just keep fucking love no rest. Make sure your kid is getting better, not just tired. And shout out to my guy Dominique, man. He put that Dominique Watson, man. He put that on my head, man. He was like, man, anybody can make somebody tired, but can you make them better?
Well, it's just like Denzel Washington. I think I was listening to some motivational speaking, and he said, "Don't mistake movement with progress."
Absolutely, you can move on the treadmill and not go no fucking where.
Right. And then know why you put your kid in training. What are the things that you're looking for him to
Measurable
develop?
differences.
The measurable differences,
Absolutely.
right? So why are you even putting them in training? And if you don't see those changes, then yeah,
Yeah, it's
you,
time
you
to pull them, man.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean, listen, I ain't knocking no one's hustle. Everybody got their own thing,
Some
but
of
do
it's
your
money
research.
grabbing, man.
Do your research on the trainer. Who's he trained? Where are they at? Because like I said, I can man. Listen, man. If we want to get make you tired session, I can do that every day.
Right.
I can make anybody tired.
Pull
Yeah,
up.
but guess what? Are you getting better with crappy reps?
Right.
Make sure they have proper recovery time, and that was one of the mistakes I made early in my career as a trainer, not even speed trainer, athletic trainer, just as a trainer. I used to try to kill people, but okay, now they got shitty form. So are they getting better or are they getting worse?
Right.
So you have to peel back, get your ego out of the way, and you know, and make sure it's not about the quantity of reps, it's about the quality of reps. If you can do 20 reps at 50% versus 13 at 100%, I'm gonna take the 13.
Period.
Yeah. So it's not about so understand the difference between your child getting tired and your tired child getting better.
Hey, man, you heard it right there, man, from Coach Clark, man, one of the top trainers around here in the Charlotte metro. Hey, man, this man will come to Las Vegas and train you for the right price,
Hey,
man.
boy, the money right, the ticket right.
The money right,
I'm on
man.
the way.
You're right. He's a
I'm on the way.
head trainer for one of the top high schools in the freaking
Yeah, man.
in the freaking state.
Yes, sir.
Brother, man. So yeah, that's excellent advice, man. But I think we're gonna have to do, and I'm gonna mention this again. Um, and we talked about it last week. We're gonna have to get my boy Twin on these coaches clinics, man, because
Absolutely,
it's
man.
way more. Because these coaches, man, they need it. And at the end of the day, man, if they don't know, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just don't know. They're not good because they don't know, and they're not, and maybe they don't know how
They
to
don't know
get
how
to
to
the
get the
resource.
information. And I
They
think
don't know how to get
yeah.
to the information. They don't know how to tap in to the resources. And so if that's what we're doing, if we're intentional about getting youth
Better.
football and middle school football and high school football players better and making sure they be successful, then that's maybe another avenue we're gonna have to dive into, man, and put some hours out there,
No,
man.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, with some coaches clinics, man. We're gonna do that. Hey, listen, tomorrow, and we ain't gonna keep y'all long, man. We've been on here long enough, man. But look, check this out. Tomorrow, man, 7 on 7, man, middle school summer. I guess is it summer?
Summer, I don't know what it is.
Summer workouts.
It's middle
spring.
school
7 on 7. Bring your ass. I mean, it's gonna be big time 7.
He said, "Bring your ass." You know why he said that? Let me promote it because you were in it. You were biased, right?
Yeah.
This dude actually said they got the right colors on the trophy.
Oh yeah.
That's what he said. So that
Oh, yeah.
is confidence, sir.
Oh yeah.
That's complete confidence.
Oh, yeah.
That if you just gonna show up, what that boy sound like? That boy T Bizzle. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's where I got it from.
That boy T
Oh, yeah.
Bizzle. That boy T Bizzle out of Hawaii. He just touched down. Shout out to my man T Bizzle.
Shout
we
out.
still mess with you, boy.
Shout out.
Congratulations, man. Happy birthday to the people. But anyway, that boy is super confident about this tournament tomorrow. And Twin, you have been quiet all week.
Yep.
I will say that.
Yep.
You called me when you tore his ass up. I was the first call you made.
I think he just made a.
I feel like you just lost my phone number.
I ain't heard from old.
I ain't heard from him all week,
Hey,
baby.
You know,
He didn't even bring me to watch the practice this
nah,
week.
coach.
He didn't want to see me.
He ain't want to hear. Hey, look, hey, coach. I've been busy now. I've been getting
my ass up.
I've been getting ready for the tournament, man. Ain't had time.
Yeah, boy.
Y'all know I've been getting ready for the tournament, man.
Shout out to my man Twin.
Shout
man.
out
That's my
to
guy,
Twin, man. I
D.
appreciate
Arma in Washington.
Hey,
WA Sports and the Footwork Factory.
I appreciate you getting that trophy, bro. I really do. Oh, wait a minute. Text this
Somebody
in.
just text you.
Text this in.
This just in.
Oh, excuse me. He wanted to make sure that we get the address right. It's Mountain Island Charter School, 13440 Lucia. I don't know.
Lucia
Riverbend Highway in Mount Holly, North Carolina. First game starts at 9 o'clock
Yeah.
tomorrow morning.
Shout out to my
D.
man D. Arma in
Armin.
Washington.
Washington.
Better known as Twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
WEA Sports, man.
He's in the game, man.
He's in the game.
Hey, listen.
I like that. I like how you did that.
Yeah.
WEA Sports. He's in the game.
Yeah, he's in the game, man. But check it out, man. Hey, listen, another great show, man. Another great conversation. Man, I don't even call it a show, man. We just get on here and chop it up about
man.
real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's really happening. And we give people the opportunity to say, you know, to chat it up, voice their opinion, man.
Absolutely.
You know, some of these shows you can't get on here and just be real, man. We on here being real, man. We stand to be contested if
standing in the gap, brother.
Yeah, we standing in the
Standing
gap. Another good show. Thanks for Coach Clark. And tomorrow, man, once again, man.
Oh, it's
Mount
going
Island Charter
down,
School,
man.
It's going
down, man.
On the Line Sports
Yeah,
Media will be in the house.
Absolutely,
Live
man.
interviews.
Mic'd up players.
Live journalism
in
going
the
on.
huddle. We doing that thing, man.
It's going down, man. And once again, man, on the Line Sports Media, and we are out.
Chill.